It's Lori. Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States coming to you. We're going to pretend it's Tuesday, June 2nd at 11:59 p.m. You kind of know the drill. I was busy watching a couple of other channels and kind of lost track of time, you know? It happens. Hopefully we've got some audio here. Let me get my devices set up. It's Lori. Oh, we do. Yay, my iPad finally caught up. Nice. Let me just do a couple of things here. And we will get down to business. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. It helps me out. It's free to you. Let me know where you're joining from. And keep in mind, this is usually a collaborative effort. I encourage participation from those that are viewing. So if you see something that I'm doing that you're not feeling, let me know. All right? And we'll just let some folks catch up with me. This is kind of what we're going to work on. So let me just get my announcements going here. We'll get them out of the way. As I mentioned, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. If you do not have a demonstrator, if you are not a demonstrator, and you would like to have somebody in your corner, feel free to reach out to me. My webpage is latenightlory.stampinup.net. You can find all things Stampin' Up!, new products, all the specials that are coming out, catalogs, all the things. You can shop with me there as well. And you can join my team if you feel so inclined to. Just a reminder that our Paper Pumpkin subscription period ends June 10th. For those of you not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, this is a monthly subscription to a somewhat of a surprise kit. Hey, Yuta. Hi, Allie. These kits have pretty much everything you need as far as elements. It'll have adhesive, it'll have an ink spot if they're stamping, it'll have a stamp set if they're stamping, and all of the parts and pieces you need. Your first kit, when you subscribe, you get a block. You should keep that because if you don't have other blocks, you'll need it for your future kits because you'll only get that block on that first kit. As a subscriber, there are also some add-on pieces. Every quarter, it's 2024, Stampin' Up! Has been doing these add-on dies. And I think they run like $13 for the set, but they coordinate with all 3 months in that quarter. So those are pretty fun. We also have kits collections, which are different. You know exactly what's going to be in those. And those have everything you need all together. We have got product of the month. This is now available. All right. I got my order. I had my shopping cart all ready to go. I hit send and then I forgot, or submit. I forgot we had new kits. It's the 2nd of the month. It's the first Tuesday. There were new kits. So now I have to go back in and look at the kits and see what I have to order. So anyway, this product of the month, you can add to your cart for just $5 with a quarter. $5 if you're in the United States with a qualifying order. And that order amount in the United States is $75. So Yuta and Allie both, you were in with Juju, and she was talking about that symbol. Oh, I have to change a couple of settings here too. I want to see all the messages in case we have any naughty people joining us. So, Yuta, on your message, you know, hey, Juju, here's the symbol that I see after your name, but before it says hi, Lori. It didn't show up when you said hi, Allie. But then it looks like this, like this, like this, and like that. So that's the the symbol that Juju and I can see in front of some commenters, not all of them. So it's really kind of weird. But that's definitely an A. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I've only seen it once on this screen right now. Yeah, I know you guys can't see it. We can only see it as like the owner of the channel. So did you type at Hi Lori? Yeah, I'm only seeing it that first time on Yuta's. Kind of strange. And I'm guessing nobody else can really see it at this point, unless you were doing like the at symbol or something. But it comes after your name. Allie, all I'm seeing is the app symbol and not this. I'll try to pay attention. If I see it come up on somebody else's, we'll do some more investigative reporting here. All right, craft class. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not there, Yuta, so it's a mystery. Yeah, it's a mystery. It's crazy. But I have seen it with other users, not just you, Yuta, so I don't know. Unless I wonder if maybe it's because you're in another country. No? Yeah, because you're in Canada, right? I wonder if the first one shows up like that because you're, I don't know. I'll kind of watch. Maybe that might be something to consider. Anyway, Scenic Coast virtual craft class. I have registered for this. I got my confirmation. And this is a Facebook masterclass, basically. It's on June 18th. This now is available for purchase as well. It's $30. You will get all of the instructions, the supply list, and basically the masterclass with the Stampin' Up! Folks that are the concept artists and product designers. And you will do 4 projects. It looks like they're cards, but usually there's one of the projects that is not a card. So it might be a mini album, it might be a home decor piece, it might be a box or something, I don't know. So this is going to be featuring that Scenic Coast Suite collection. So we did a couple of cards last night. I have some leftovers tonight. I thought we would kind of play around and use up those leftovers a little bit and see how it looks. But this class, normally I will have, I'll offer a watch party for anybody that purchases it that is local to me and we can craft together. However, I thought you already were going to. Oh no, that's the August 8th one. Creativity Now, huh? You already signed up for Creativity Now, right? Oh, did you see you can purchase your products for that now? It's available and you can get your free stamp set. I claimed mine with my order that I placed yesterday and my order shipped already. So it shipped within hours, which I was really impressed about. But anyway, this should be fun. I will not be able to host a watch party on the day of the event. I can do a watch replay party. So if you're local to me and purchase it, let me know if you want to do a watch party. Those of you who have signed up for our Happy Mail Club have not received an email yet with all of the addresses, have you? But I do have them all ready to go. So it is created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are currently 11 people who have opted in for this. Some of you I will need birthdays still if you want to provide the month and the day of your birthday, and whether you want to opt in for holidays or if you do not recognize holidays, then say no. Okay? But this is going to be a very informal, let's just send each other some happy mail Let's use the things that we have. It can be Stampin' Up! Stuff. It can be non-Stampin' Up! Stuff. It can be current stuff. It can be old stuff. It can be new stuff that hasn't been released yet. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a card. It can be a mini journal. It can be one of your artist training cards. I think that's what you call them, right? ATCs, artist training cards, Juju. And if you're hanging out in the balcony because you're cleaning, I get it. But anyway, whatever you want to send as your happy mail, perfect, Allie. Whatever you want to send as your happy mail, you send it on whatever timetable it works for you. If you want to send out 2 cards every week because that's a challenge for you, then send 2 cards every week. If you want to send just one and you're going to do one a month because you're really busy and you have other stuff, I don't care. The idea is just to send happy mail to each other so that we can remind each other that we're thinking about each other. Okay? So, yes, that's what I call them. Okay, ATCs. So, anybody who is watching the replay or who has not opted in, everybody who's commented here has already opted in. So anybody who's watching on the replay or seeing this as you come in later, shoot me an email, laurimacari@gmail.com. I need your mailing address, including the zip code, what the month and the day of your birthday is, and whether you celebrate holidays. So that, you know, if you don't celebrate holidays, we don't want to send holiday type cards because they won't mean the same thing to you that they might need to might mean to whoever's sending them. So it's not a competition. I just want to have fun and just, I don't know, lift each other up, I guess, right? Like Sarah Douglas from Stampin' Up, our CEO, says she wants to eradicate loneliness. That is her goal with Stampin' Up, is just to eradicate loneliness. So let's do it. For my locals, next week, so a week from tomorrow, we'll have our coffee and a card. A week from next Monday, I have a virtual album replay party. Did you order the stamps for the class as well? For the virtual class that's coming up in June, I think that's just all the Scenic Coast stuff. I already have that. Yeah, so we've already got the Scenic Coast Suite collection. I should already have everything. Let's look at the list here. It doesn't say anything else here. So yeah, in addition to the Scenic Coast Suite collection. So 167786, but that's all the stuff that we've kind of been using the last couple of days. So it's, you know, this paper, the dies that I have here somewhere. So the dies, the stamp set. I think there's some sequins. Yeah, all those things. So unless there's something else that I didn't see, but I think that's everything. Now the Creativity Now that's going to be for August 8th, I did order the things for that. That's the demonstrator only one. So if I'm misunderstanding, for the other class, the notes of something. Let me, that might be for Creativity Now. Let me just look at my order history. Because I don't remember what it was, what it was called. And I'm waiting for my computer to catch up. There we go. Scenic Coast. Oh, it's the things for August are the Painted Collage Suite collection. All right, so notes of something. Huh? Did I miss something? I hope not. Let me just see if there's something else in my cart. I'm just scrolling through here. Yeah, and there's Collage Botanicals. All right, let me look up class and see if it shows something else. There's 3 classes listed. And that's the paper mixer class that was for this, for May, the Scenic Coast class, which is for June, and then the Lovely Blossoms craft class that was the earlier one. So if you see something else, let me know. But if it's for the August Creativity Now, I did order the suite. It was like, I think $85 for all the things. And then I also made sure that I selected the stamp set that's included with our registration. Okay, so anyway, back to this. Wednesday, the 17th. I don't know if I've mentioned Juju don't say anything. Because Juju knows, but I will be gone. So that's why I can't have the watch party on the 18th for this. But we'll cover Where in the World is Late Night Lori another day. Sunday, we've got a private class. Monday, the 22nd, we've got our Monday open studio time. I will not be able to have a Scrappy Saturday class this month for scrapbooking because we have family coming again that last week in June through July 4th. So I don't want to be trying to stressfully divide my time. All right. And then don't forget about our sketch challenge. So our sketch challenge Sunday, we are using the templates available from Stampin' Up. See page 13 of the catalog, the May to August catalog down at the bottom. And there's a QR code there, or you can just go to my website and then click on the shop for the drop-down menu, go Ways to Craft. And then when you get to the Ways to Craft page, there's a paragraph kind of on the left-hand side. The second paragraph has a link to these templates. I just manually numbered them, and I am randomly selecting one to do each Sunday night. When we do the Sunday night one, how did you make the sketch so big? I'll get to that in a second. Don't let me forget. Sunday night, I will demonstrate our interpretation of the sketch. And then I will post it to Facebook, hopefully within a day or two. And then all of you will post your interpretation of the sketch. Go to the Facebook page where that post is, post yours as a comment. And then the first Sunday after a month ends, I will put all of the participant names on my wheel of names, and I will send you a separate piece of happy mail. It might be a card. It might be a little gift. I don't know. It'll depend on how the spirit moves me when I do it. All right. So my sketches, while I'm following this, I simply go into Word and I make the shapes. I tried to do it in Canva, but it just wasn't very efficient for me. So I just went into Word. You can do an insert shapes, and then you can change the color of the border. You can change whether it's got any fill in it. And then I just work from the bottom layer up, and then they all go on top where I want them. And then I save that as a PNG file, and then I go into Canva and I added these other little elements to kind of make my flyer. All right. So this was our sketch this Sunday. I think I have the post ready to go, but I don't think I released it yet. I'm going to try to do that before I go to bed. All right. So I think that's all my announcements. That's a lot. That's a lot of yapping. Sorry. And I have not, oh, Yuta, I see this now on yours again where it says, hi, Juju. And it only seems like it's coming up maybe on, I don't know. Because that's only the second time and you've commented a couple of times. Interesting. Interesting. I'm still wondering if it's because of the fact that you're not in the United States. I don't know. We'll keep we'll keep figuring it out. So last night, right? Yeah. And I couldn't, Juju, on your page, I couldn't see any of the symbolism, that symbol showing up when I viewed your page either. For a craft channel, not an official button or functional feature built into the YouTube platform. Is Yuda M 2025 a channel? Or does that mean just because I'm the channel, I can see it? That's weird. Anyway, these are two of the cards that we did last night. And Allie, during her live tonight, which I apologize, I cannot always catch, but she did her interpretation of these cards, and they turned out really good too. And when I looked at the one and she had said it was kind of cased from mine, it's like, oh, that one's all yours. I don't remember. I don't remember that one. So it's all good. I know she did. They were really cute. So anyway, these were the cards we did last night. From these, I had some leftovers. And I have just a couple of things in mind. Like this was one of my leftovers. All right. This is one that I had used the die cut, but I didn't put any adhesive on it. So I thought I would just fight with putting some glue on this. And I think I will just set it aside so that that glue can set. And we'll figure out what to do with it, because I thought what we could do is just put it on here and make it a happy sun. And it could be just a super simple card. So I'm just going to put some glue on this and let it set. So when it becomes translucent, which shouldn't take very long because I'm not putting this on very thick, but when it becomes translucent, then we can just put it on kind of as a sticker, but then I won't have gobs of glue oozing out either. So it's a good way to just have a more neat card. And then I'm just going to lay this on my craft sheet so that I remember that I have glue on it, because a lot of times what happens is I do these and then I'm not paying attention and all of a sudden it's sticking to my clothes because I forget. I think that should be good. Just put a little bit more around some of these edges and we'll set it aside. I actually learned that from Corey Hancock, I think. Was it Corey or was it Cindy? I don't know. Somebody with Stampin' Up! Had given it as a tip, and I thought that's a really good tip. So I'm just going to set that over to the side. I'm going to set this over to the side. And then I figured that one we may use the Everyday Arches. Now, did I see... I don't think the Everyday Arches are on the last chance list, are they? I think they're current, right? Oh, they're currently not available. They're really popular right now. So that's the thing with the Everyday Arches, but we're probably going to use it anyway. So let's take a look at this, because this is what we had left over yesterday. And I hung on to the little die pieces, the waste pieces that come out of this when we cut it out. And I had seen another demonstrator do this. And oh, when you let the glue get translucent, it'll make it that you can remove it. Yeah, it's like a repositional sticker. Unless you press it down really hard, and the longer it sits, the less repositionable it will be. So anyway, I saw another demonstrator suggest this, that these pieces could become extended waves. So that's what I thought I would do. Now with one of our cards, when I was cutting things yesterday, it might have been this one, I ended up with a small semicircle somehow. I don't know what I was doing. But I set it behind here and I thought, you know, and I might have shown that last night too. That could work back here as a nice like sunset. But this piece was actually too small because when I lined it up here, there's a little gap here right at the horizon line. So I ended up cutting another one. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these two together. I figure you folks do not need to see me use my die cut machine, right? Everybody's seen that. But this one does have self-adhesive, or the adhesive sheet on the back of this. So that's going to make it a little bit easier. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is I took another piece and I cut it so it could be the water. And I only did this after Allie's live tonight because she put a piece behind hers as water. And I thought, that's brilliant. That's a really good idea. So now all I have to do is line this up and then decide where it needs to be cut. And I'm just going to pencil mark that and trim the extra off that goes above there. So that I can get these two layers to kind of butt up against each other. You know, they'll layer nice. So I'm just going to use my long blade scissors and try to cut this all the way across. These are not Stampin' Up. These are just scissors I had. I know Stampin' Up, I've seen people say Stampin' Up used to have big scissors like that, but I never had any. All right, so this should be able to just go like this. I could probably zoom in a little bit for you folks, huh? There we go. All right, so if I just kind of glue these together, that should be the right size circle. And I'm lining up these dashes and dots for this. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the bottom of this line, just so it kind of holds it in place for me while I'm placing this other piece. And I think what made me think of this is we can do a couple of things, because with the first one I was going to go like this, right? And then I was going to put some glue on it and I thought, oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. So I thought we could do like a stormy night. You know, like when you are tempest tossed. So I figured I would kind of put these together and we can decide which one we want to use. All right. Does that sound like a plan? Because we all are all about collaborating, right? Now let's see if I can get this lined up how I want it. Oh, where did these line up? Oh, there we go. There. Beautiful. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is this so swirly embossing folder. I figure I'm going to make kind of a monochromatic card. And isn't that pretty? So either this one with the storm or this one with the sunset, or we could do one of each at some point. but I just thought that would be very pretty. Either way, I think looks good. And then of course, these little extra strips are just going to be offset to be more water to carry this down. And they were just scraps in there, so that's not a separate die, that's just the scraps. Okay, but this embossing folder is on the last chance list. Let me see if I can get back to it. This is $5.25. Hey, Zip. I didn't realize that was you saying how pretty it was. Thank you. So this is $5.25 from the last chance list, which is another reminder. I should have posted something on that, or I should have printed something. The last chance list has been updated, so there's new items that have been added, just so you know. I haven't looked at it because I tend not to buy the last chance things because I know I will hoard things. So for me, sometimes I don't even really want to look. All right, so if we're going to do one each of these, I just need to get that die out and just cut another piece of Secret Sea. And Zip, when you see leave the waves, like leave those on here, right? Because that was kind of my plan, is just to put those in there. All right, I'm gonna run this through. Let me pull my cart over. So that I don't have to disrupt our table. Oh, I know, Allie. There's so many possibilities with this paper. And I mean, look at mine. It's all cut to bits. So, I mean, I have some left, but yeah, there's a lot to do with it. And it's just so pretty. I actually got mine when I went to Onstage. That was one of my Prize Patrol items. I was so excited. I'm pretty sure it was my Prize Patrol. Yes, I got it as a Prize Patrol item. And if you're not familiar with Prize Patrol, Stampin' Up! Gives away a lot of cool stuff. The right circle, leave the waves there, you mean? When I put this on there? Or leave the waves in the inset. We'll figure that out in a second, in case I'm not understanding. All right. All right, I just had to push up my sleeves. I'm working up a sweat. I have a t-shirt on, my t-shirt that I wore all day, and then I also have another t-shirt on over that long sleeve because I was outside with MacMan and the chickens, and it was getting kind of chilly when the sun goes down. There's a song like that too, when the sun goes down. All right, so leave them inset on the new one. Okay, that makes sense. These just kind of popped out. So that I probably could have put that on some adhesive paper, but I wasn't thinking. Yeah, we can certainly leave that in there for that part. And we'll take this part out. All right, and then there's a couple little pieces here too. And then I think that, oh, there's just one more little piece in there I've got to poke out. Then the other thing we need to do, I'm going to save all of these to go back inside here. And I'm just going to put this one over here just because I'm putting those pieces over there. These are going to be loose. And then I need the Spotlight on Nature so I can cut that circle out. Or I can look to see if I have a punch too, but I thought this kind of made it look like a porthole. You know how the handles are on the porthole? I thought it gave it a kind of a nautical vibe. But I can see if I've got a punch big enough. I don't know if I do. Let me see if I have a 3-inch punch. That's pretty big. No. I do not have a 3-inch punch. So we're going to go ahead and use this die. All right, and we used this one here. And for this die, what I discovered yesterday was if you just line it up to the inside of the circle here, it's a perfect fit. So you don't have to worry about kind of centering the boat. If you just line that up, it's good. So let me get a little bit of washi tape and we'll run this through. Got a lot of them out, but there's still a bunch in here. All right, I'm gonna have to poke just, there's like 5 left that didn't come out, but it'll be fine. I wish that another one of our global crafters would join us so that I could see if that symbol pops up again. All right, now I need a couple more pieces of Secret Sea cut to layer size. So I'm doing 4 by 5 1/4. For there, I'm going to put it through the So Swirly embossing folder. So let me cut another layer because we may as well just emboss both of them at the same time, right? All right, so we'll do a 2 for 1. Now this is a thinner embossing folder, so it should be a more standard sandwich. So let's take a look here. So embossing folder, I just need to do it without the shim. So the platform tells me what my sandwich is if I'm doing just a regular embossing folder. Okay. 1 and 2. Trying to get it put back in the package, but it doesn't want to go. All right, so that's last chance list. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, I need another card base, don't I? Okay, another card base. So we'll get that burnished. We'll get these glued on. Now this So Swirly embossing folder, it's hard to tell really what's the right side or the wrong side because it embosses nicely on both sides. So it's just very smooth. There's not like any weird edges on it. So you could really use either side. That shifted a little too far. Alrighty, so there's one down. I could probably have flipped these over so that I was using the opposite side so you could see that it really doesn't make a difference, but too late. Too late. All right, and I don't want to use the alley-oop technique because I don't want to flatten my embossed designs. So this one we're going to put on the Tempest C. I should have put adhesive sheets on this, I think, but it'll be all right. And I could let this set too to become a little sticker. So that it doesn't ooze glue everywhere. So I'm just going to set that there and hopefully I won't make a mess of that. These I'll just glue separately. They should be okay. So that's going to go with this one. And I think I'll end up probably putting that here, but I'll put it on dimensionals when we're done, so I don't want to do anything else with that just yet. So let's put this one together. Luckily, I remembered to put adhesive sheets on this one yesterday. So I just want to be careful when I peel it off so that I don't rip anything. That would make kind of a fun piece too. All right, now here's where I want to be careful because I want to line up these dots and dashes. It's pretty sticky. Well, that wasn't too bad. All right. So I'm going to put this on dimensionals. This paper is just so pretty. And both sides are pretty. Not just the side, you know, maybe all of you haven't even seen it, but this paper, See, I've got them cut up all over the place. This paper has usually about half of it that has a shimmer. See how pretty that is? So it looks like water. It is just so pretty, and it comes in, you know, different patterns. And you get like 8 sheets of each pattern, if you will. This one is gorgeous. I think this one is my favorite. And then the back sides are just as, oh, this one's pretty too though. Oh, you didn't see that zip? It's just gorgeous. Scenic Coast, is that the name of this? Yeah, Scenic Coast. But then the back sides are pretty also. That's another shimmer piece. And this isn't even all of them because I've used some of the sheets pretty much all the way. There's like, you get 48 sheets. Yeah, you get 48 sheets. And I think you get like 8 of each pattern. 2, 4, 6, probably 8 of each pattern. This one I think is the one that I've almost used the whole thing of. It's gorgeous. Oh, that, yeah. It's gorgeous though. Maybe this is the one I've used almost all of it. But the paper is just absolutely stunning. How they did that, I do not know. But it is beautiful paper. So, it's been popular too. All right, let's go ahead and... Hello, Ashley from Ashley's Craft Corner 2. All right, so Ashley, where are you from? I've forgotten. Are you in the United States? And maybe I don't remember if, maybe you didn't tell me where you were from. We're trying to figure out if there's a pattern to this little symbol. For those of us that are running a channel, this symbol is coming up, but only sometimes. And it just came up on yours. All right. So I do want to try to make sure that I've got this horizon kind of straight. And it looks like I should have, it goes a little above that, but I don't think I can trim that off. So that's just going to stay there. So I'm just kind of using the lines on my glass mat to eyeball it level. All right. I don't think it's quite centered, but I think it's going to have to be good enough. So then the other thing that I thought I would do with this is, I had another piece of this. Oh, here. This is the die that's got the net. I ran this through twice already. And it's got all kinds of little pieces in here that I thought, oh, those could almost be little fishes. If you did it a couple of times with different color paper, they might look like fishes. I don't know. I'm not going to, but you could. Maybe. So there we go. I could just keep punching some of these out. Now what I want to do with this net, I did this in basic beige because that's what I envision netting to kind of look like. I think netting, good night Yuta, thank you for popping in. I think netting might start out white, but then when it's in the water and gets all the fish gunk on it and everything, it gets kind of discolored. So I just used basic beige. But then what I want to do is, I'm going to spritz this because I want to distress it a little bit so that it's softer like I imagine netting would be. So I have just a spritzer with water in it. Oh, I probably shouldn't spray that over my plug bar, huh? You're about to make an etched plate. You do mixed media or junk journaling, or what do you do? I've been to your page a few times and watched, but I have to admit it's been a piece since I've been there. So I'm just going to wrinkle this up gently just to break down the fibers a little bit more. And that's why I wanted to mist it, so that I wouldn't just rip the paper. But I want it to look natural. The other thing I thought I could do is peel it apart. I'm going to spritz this a little bit more. This time I spritzed it on the back. So I'm spritzing it on the front and the back. See how those could have looked like a school of fish? Maybe it's just my imagination. But this is just more like a fabric net to me, instead of just a flat piece of paper that's trying to look like a net. And I just thought having that randomly on here might look better than this. What do you think? But we're gonna stick these pieces on here. If I can get this adhesive off. And, crisis averted. I may have to pull in my pokey tool for my take your pick tool here. There we go. All right, again, these are just the little scrappy pieces here. And I think I'm gonna move that up here more. And I'm gonna get a black mini dimensional. I need to sort those out a little bit better. I don't have any mini dimensionals handy. But I'm going to cut this really thin so that I can put it on the underside of this piece to give it a little support. And because that's black, then it's not going to show very much if it doesn't quite hide entirely beneath that little piece. Okay, and then we've got this one. Allie, I know on your card you used some of the netting too. Did you distress it at all? Now this piece that came out of here actually had some edges on it from how I cut it on the circle. So I just cut those little edges off of there. Okay, and I'm going to cut another small piece of dimensional here. Maybe I'll just cut it off the end. Oh, I was just curious. I mean, it looked fine. You know, from our angle, it looked fine. I was just curious because I think you were already doing that when I came onto your live, because I wasn't there at the very beginning. I'm just trying to do double dimensionals here because these seem kind of thin. And that's a really small piece too, so. There. All right. And then I thought what I would do is find some shimmer sections on these papers, like maybe this one, and cut out the seashells from the dies. And then it wouldn't hurt to have some seagulls. I have not had an opportunity yet to use these little fence pieces, just because I haven't taken the time. But let's see what these shells look like cut out of this DSP. See if they'll be as pretty as I hope. Oh my goodness, look at those. Oh, I love it. All right, I've lost one though. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at those. Nice. Well, that was a happy little stab in the dark. All right, so this is pretty much dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and put, I think, some glue on some of these edges. This should be all right. I think glue dots will be a little too taxing for me. Oh, there we go. You know what might work is if I put some glue on, maybe I'll get a sponge. Put a little bit of glue on here. Let me grab a sponge. I'll get it wet. And let's pick up a little glue here, and we'll just dab it on here. So look at how more like fabric that is. I think that's fun. Cool. Very cool. And then these seashells, I figured we could just splatter along here. And then we'll have a little bit of room to put a sentiment. So let's take a look at the sentiments also and see what we have. This one's kind of nice. Hoping your day is perfect. Because that'll be very small. And we'll do that in Secret C. And I think I will get another piece of the basic beige. I don't know if I have a scrap in here or not. Nope, let me grab some basic beige. And I'm going to go ahead and just stamp this twice. That'll be too narrow. That embossing would look cool on blue too. This is Secret C. This is a very dark blue. It's not black. I'm sure it probably looks black from where you're at, but it's Secret C. That turned out really good. And I'm just going to do a second one. That one turned out pretty good, but it's smeared a little bit. Let's go here. That looks pretty good. Yeah, Secret Sea it's darker than Night of Navy. Let me get a piece of black and see if I can show you the difference. I'm hoping that in 2027, when Stampin' Up! Does their color refresh, that Secret Sea will become a core color. So this is Night of Navy. And then this is black. I'm going to turn this over. Let's do this one. All right. So this is Night of Navy. This is Secret Sea. And this is black. So hopefully you can see the difference. So up close, probably it's better for you. It's actually darker than, I would say it might be darker than a navy green. I mean, this is Night of Navy, but can you see the difference? Hopefully you can. Hopefully my lighting is good enough that you can see. My iPad is a little back, behind, I mean. Yeah, so Night of Navy would probably be very pretty as well. Let me see if that's one of the listed colors. It is not. Balmy Blue, Blueberry Bushel, Crushed Curry, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Strawberry Slush. That doesn't mean that there's not other colors in here, obviously. Those are the main colors. But yeah, that Night of Navy would be very pretty too. That would be very pretty. All right, so let's trim this out. So we have our little sentiment. And I think this one was better. Ooh, that one I got cutting close. All right, well, I guess we'll stamp that one more time because I cut part of the words off. We'll just hold it steady. Balmy Blue would be very pretty too. I can go grab a piece of that too. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. So we could, I don't know if I need to fussy cut that. Do you think I need to fussy cut that or just putting it on here? Do you think that would be good enough? Actually, that's a little crooked. Let's try this one. I'm going to put these shells on a couple of dimensionals here. Fussy cut. Of course, Juju. Why would I expect anything less? It might look better fussy cut though. Maybe a coordinating backing to the sentiment. Are you thinking like the strawberry slush? Or let's just give me a second here. We could do a ribbon. That might be a little much with the netting. I don't know if we want a ribbon on there or not. Can you see that very well? Ribbon or strawberry slush? I see yes it, but I'm not sure what. I'm more of a fussy cutter. Oh, more of a cussin than a fussin. Yes. So we could try ribbon. I really like how this feels. It's soft. It's not just like paper. Oh, if I bunch that up like that, it would almost look like waves. Slushed inked edges. Let's see. Okay, here's my strawberry slush. I have a bow on here, but that's only because I was too lazy to cut it off. Okay. So you think I should ink the edges like with the Secret Sea? Let me go get an alcohol blend. Because anytime I cut my ribbon, or anytime I color my ribbon rather, I always do alcohol blends. So the other thing we could do too is we could just it doesn't look like nautical stripes though, does it? It looks like a pink zebra a little bit. Now you just never know, right? This is gonna kind of seep into the ribbon. It might give it a little bit of a waterlogged kind of look. Like a weathered little look. I don't know if we want those edges colored or not. Let me cut out these birds. Oh, let me put them on an adhesive sheet first. Jute ribbon like boat. I don't have anything like that that's current from Stampin' Up. Let me see if I've got an older one. Oh, you know what I could do though? Here's some old Stampin' Up. What was this called? Craft rope trim. I'm not sure that I like this ribbon. With the inked edges, it looks a little messy to me. I know you junk journalists probably think that's awesome, but... So the other thing that I could do is if we do like this, I need to bring a crochet hook into my craft room here. We could do like a chain stitch and make a rope. I did this on a card a while back with the Sail Away stuff. Paper that color. Paper which color? The beige? Because this is already there. Or paper this color, you mean. But there's nothing else that color on here to frame that. I mean, what might work better is if I just dip this in my ink and put the darker edges around it. I just think even with this, it kind of competes with the, netting. So if we were to add twine or anything to make it like a rope look. So paper the color of the strawberry slush, because we could still use the strawberry slush as a ribbon and just border it. So that would be ribbon, and I'm going to leave this off. You know what might look better, because we've almost got some of the coral colors in here. That's the Timid Tiger. Oh, maybe Crisp Cantaloupe, because that would kind of blend with the shells. Hello, Tanya. Welcome. What about some Crisp Cantaloupe? Because that would kind of pull together the orange-ish tones here on the sky and the coral of the shells. What do you think of that one? Okay, what are you saying, Zip, about the sentiment not getting lost? With the ribbon, do you think? Does that work? So the ribbon with the coral, the clips are the crisp cantaloupe will work. I think it does kind of pull those colors together. All right, so let me get some seagulls on here because I think that will be the defining moment. We'll see. Just going to put some adhesive sheet on here. With the color behind it, it shows a little bit more. Okay, good. Yeah, the basic beige is not a real vibrant color. So it does kind of get lost sometimes. Oh, don't apologize for being visual. It should be appealing to the eye. Oops. Let me get some seagulls on here. I am all for the visually appealing. So some of the very top achievers with Stampin' Up! Are on the incentive trip. Someday I hope to earn that. It takes a lot of work. It takes, you know, building a good sized team and a lot of sales. But anyway, less than 1% of demonstrators achieve the trip. But those that are on it have been sharing some of their sneak peek. There is some really pretty sunflower paper that's going to be coming out in the August, May, June, July. Yeah, August, September, no. Because we've got May, June, July, August, September, October. The August, September, October catalog. Well, that's not right either, because there should be 4 months. August, September, October, November, December. Oh, I don't know. The next catalog. It's coming out, I think, is what they said. So here's some more seagulls, and I'm gonna lose that piece that I've got glue on. I just know it. So another seagull. Hello, Suzanne. All right. So I think the seagulls will make a big difference too, as we found out last night. So let's go ahead and put that one kind of there. This one a little further back. And this one off to the left. And then let's go ahead and get this attached. I'm going to use tear and tape on here, I think, to get that ribbon stuck on here, and then we'll put it on an adhesive strip. That ought to work. will get an adhesive strip. And I think maybe I'll use 2 adhesive strips actually. And just keep them side by side. I'll have to trim a little bit of this off. There we go. And then that can go right about there. And then some gems. Oh, I need to attach this little guy too. And I think I need to put just a little smidge of glue, or maybe I'll use this as a glue dot. You know those little rings that build up around your glue bottle? They make great glue dots. If you can get them off your finger. Perfect. And then this, I think, we're going to do a couple of mini dimensionals. And we'll stick that shell on. And again, these shells we cut out of that designer series paper. Okay. Now, what about embellishments? These are the trinkets that go with the suite, but I don't really think that fits with the theme. So let me see if I can find the sequins here. Sunset Sparkle Sequins. These are clear cloud cover strawberry slush and tinted tiger. And we will put a few of these on. I don't know, I think maybe we'll keep it kind of on the down low. Just so there's a little bit of shimmer in there, but that it's not crazy. There. Well, one down. It's only been an hour. And then what I will do is put some of this paper on the inside with a basic beige layer for the message. All right. So that's another kind of variation off of last night's cards. A little more monochromatic with all that secrecy. All right, let's see what comes next. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a little fussy cut maybe. Kind of hard when you're on a real narrow strip. Well, I'm glad you like it. I should probably move that there so we can see it for a little bit longer. This would have been easier if I would have thought ahead that I was going to fussy cut. I could have left it on a little bigger strip. And then when I have letters like this, I just kind of go up and down a little bit. So it gives it the appearance that I fussy cut around every little bump. Because it just gives it a very subtle, I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of texture, but at least it's not just a super straight line, you know? All right. That's ready. Denise, welcome. All right, so there's our fussy cut piece ready to go. Now we've got this piece ready to go. And this is going to be our little stormy skies and stormy seas. So this has got the shimmer, hopefully. Oh, thank you, Denise. We'll try to keep it down so nobody knows you're listening while you're working. So let's just try to put this on here so it's as close to where all of the little dots and dashes are as it can be. This is the one where I put some glue on and let it set a little bit. So that worked out pretty good. All right, and then I think Yuta suggested that we leave these little bits in here. Trying to see, that's got to be the way it is. Rather than taking them out, we could leave those bits in there. It doesn't want to come out, but I hadn't glued it yet. All right, let's try to be careful here. I don't want a gluey mess. All right, and those pieces were essentially intended to be discard. But here we turn them into extra extended waves. And here we're just going to leave them in as more texture to our waves. We'll just get that extra itty bitty little bits of glue off. Okay, now, do we, I think what we were thinking here is just to do another variation of this. Well, we were looking at some Subarus, Lori, but I actually signed a contract for another Ford Explorer. I used to have a Ford Explorer years ago, and I test drove it. It ranks very high in safety ratings, and it just felt really good. So I bought that last night. Let's see. And MacMan said, okay, what Stampin' Up! Color is this vehicle? And I said, well, it's a cross between Cloud Cover and like Lost Lagoon or something. I just threw out a couple of blues. It's a blue. It's called Vapor Blue, I think. All right, so here I'm wondering, now I already put those together. That was not wise of me. Because what I was thinking I could have done is put this ribbon through like this. Well, thank you. This is probably the first vehicle that I wasn't nervous about buying. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a huge purchase. But you figure the insurance payout on our other car, because it was paid off. So we haven't had car payments, so it's kind of annoying. But it's been a while since I've purchased a car. Now this is a little wonky, and I don't know if it's going to bother me. These didn't quite line up how I wanted them to. There, I shifted it a little bit. That's a little bit better. I like that better. But what I was kind of thinking we could do, well, it was an afterthought really, but if we wanted to put a ribbon behind here, we could take out this little section and this little section. And then get a spatula. You know, now that my back is feeling better too, I'm finding other aches and pains that I hadn't noticed before, and you know, my neck is bothering me a whole lot more than it was before. So not as young as I used to be. Of course, I don't think anybody's a good age to go through a car crash, but, you know, anyway. I'm going to cut out the other parts of these too because it's kind of hanging up and I don't want it to look dopey. There we go. Ford Explorer. And we were looking at used vehicles because, you know, they depreciate so fast, right? And if you can find something with low miles and still, you know, it's got some manufacturer warranty, it can be a pretty good deal, right? Because a lot of times they're just leased vehicles and people just use them for business or whatever for a short period of time. But the prices for the used vehicles were almost as much as the new vehicles that basically didn't have any mileage on them. So for about $240 more, there was a 2025 that had lots of bells and whistles that they're very nice. It was kind of a sporty model. The TS, the Touring something or other. Yeah, they're pretty good cars. But anyway, it had like, I think 25,000 miles on it, which isn't bad. But for about $240 more, we got a brand new one that has the full warranty, almost no miles on it. All the bells and whistles I needed. Heated seats was like important to me. So we ended up getting a new one for just a couple $100 more than the used ones. So hopefully we'll be able to pick it up on Thursday. Yeah, I had I think I put my ribbon on crooked. I had one years ago. It's been quite a long time since I had my Explorer, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And when I sat in this one, I said, it's good to sit in an Explorer again. It felt good. And then, you know, our granddaughter rather, you know, in a few years, it might end up becoming her car. And since it rated really well for crash safety, I'm just cutting out a couple more of these because I want to make that ribbon a little more straight. And this gives me a little bit more wiggle room. All right, let's trim just a little bit more off of here because I see nubbies. And we know that nubbies kind of bother me. All right, so we're going to put this up on dimensionals. And I'm going to use the black ones this time. So ours will be a 26. I don't know if 27 models are out yet, but ours is a 26. But no previous owners. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Okay, why doesn't this want to go on very well? There we go. All right. And our credit union is really good to us. Oh, you like my ticking clock? Yeah, Juju noticed that one time. She's like, do you have a clock by you? Yes. It's my clock. I have had that clock. Let me think. 1986. Since probably the late 80s. 6. Yeah. When I became a manager for our criminal court system and I got my own office, I hung a clock on my wall, and that's the clock that I had in my office. All right, I'm going to put this up here. Does that look pretty straight? I'm trying to line up this. I think that looks pretty straight. Thank you, Zip. ASMR. What does that stand for? I don't know. But I felt like I had arrived when I got my own office, so I wanted to have a clock. Just a nice little clock. Oh, yeah, I have that problem too. It's mostly just the volumes that get me. Not so much the sounds, but the volumes. Like, MacMan has like all kinds of stuff going at the same time. He'll have the TV on and he'll have a radio on, or he'll have 2 radios on to the same station, so they're just slightly off sync with each other, or he'll have a YouTube video going or something, and it's just very, it just makes me unsettled. So like if like today we were doing a little running around and I didn't pick up on the acronym there. Got it. But like today we were doing some errands, partly with the whole car fiasco thing. So he got out at one point and I said, well, I'll just stay in the car. So the first thing I do is turn off the radio because it makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. So you can see, since I didn't plan ahead, I'm doing the same thing that I did last night. And I'm just pushing my ribbon in under here. And it'll be fine as long as nobody tugs on it. It'll be fine. It's not going to go anywhere because that glue that's in that layer is going to hold it good enough. And that doesn't stand out color-wise, but it gives it more texture. do want to see if I can get it up just a little higher. There we go. I kind of like that. All right, now, remember with this one, I'm just going to spritz it, and I'm going to make this like it's rope also. So that, again, is just the basic beige that we use the dye. So here's the dye, but I don't want it to feel like paper. Oh, MacMan does that too. He will have the TV on, but he will have it muted, and he will listen to it on the radio. Yeah. It doesn't confuse me, it just irritates me. So I'm just distressing this a lot. I misted this better front and back the first time. So look at how it doesn't even sound like paper. I tried to get you close to the microphone. It doesn't even sound like paper anymore. All right, and I'm just gonna let that dry for a little bit. And we're gonna put that on here too, kind of random. Let's put some of these seagulls on here. Yeah, and see, I don't even really pay attention to the clock anymore. Sometimes it does bother me though, like when I go into the bedroom, MacMan has a clock, and it's just one of those little old-fashioned alarm clocks, and it just bings so loud. I wear earplugs to bed now. I get between the snoring and the clock. Hopefully he won't watch the replay. Between the snoring and the clock, I don't sleep very well most times. So that's where I started wearing the earplugs, and I'm actually going to get an eye mask too because there's so much ambient light in our bedroom. And he's one where I called him on it. I have room darkening curtains over the windows because I want it dark and quiet because that's how I sleep best. And he would go and he would open the curtains a little bit, and I'm like, why are you doing that? You get up at the butt crack of dawn, that's fine, but I'm not going to because I'm up until the butt crack of dawn sometimes. And I want it dark when I sleep. He's like, oh, it must have happened by accident. I'm like, this is not accident. This, where it's just a little, no, that's not accident. So I think I might be getting myself a little eye mask too. I know I'm so picky. I'm just a complainer. All right, so this one, we'll maybe just kind of bunch it up here. And then I think I want to put this here just because there's not really anything here now, because this one we use those strips to make our waves. This one doesn't have it. So I think we'll just put that there, and I'm going to put a little bit of, let's make sure I'm putting it on the right end. We're just going to put it over here. We'll put some black dimensionals there. I wish they would do adhesive strips in black. That would make me so happy. And I'm going to cut just another skinny layer. And we'll double that up. Yeah, I'm one where I like everything quiet. So if I'm driving anywhere, because there's usually so much noise around here, everything's off. The windows are up. I don't need to hear the wind noise. The radio is off. So we'll just put this down here. That's good. This is probably dry enough for a little bit of glue. So we'll just do our dampened sponge again. It's still damp. We'll see if that has enough. Hopefully it does. We'll find out tomorrow when it's all dry. All right. So very similar cards, but having a very different look. And then for the shells, maybe we should do the darker colors here. Let's see if we can find another one that's even darker still. That might be the darkest one. This one's kind of dark. We'll do those. We'll see how this looks. What do you think of those shells in kind of the blues? Does that work? I wish I had a little fishy for in there. Whoops. What do you think? I think that kind of works. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to put this dimensional on this one. Thank you, Zip. Oh, thank you for the hearts. That's reassuring that it looks good from your angle too. I'm just going to kind of tuck that in the net a little bit. And this one I think I'll put glue on. We'll put this one a little flatter. And then I think I'll put this one up on a dimensional also. Got this other narrow piece here that should work good. Those are really sticky. All right. And then let's find the sequins again. And I think we could use, probably use these cloud cover-ish ones. Oh, come on. I love that netting with it distressed. Do you think 5 is too many? I can always peel them off if you don't think it works. What do you think? Yeah, two almost exactly the same cards, but looking very different. Okay. So then the last one that we had was this little piece here, our little starburst piece from last night. And I thought we could just, that's from the add-on dies for Paper Pumpkin. I thought we could, thank you, Suzanne. That would be a very good Father's Day card. Very good. I've already made a couple of Father's Day cards, so they might be more masculine, like birthday cards for me. But if anybody else is going to case these, they would be great Father's Day cards. So this I'm going to trim down. And let's just see how long this is here. It's 4 3/4. Okay. About 4 1/2. I want it to go sideways. So let's do I better figure out how wide this is first. If we do 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, I think that was. Now this has just the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue on here. So I thought we would kind of make this look like a starburst, because I didn't want to throw away that piece. But maybe I should just die cut around there, or maybe I should just fussy cut around there. I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to go with this, but I wanted the, this is actually crushed curry behind here. Now the only reason why I'm going to fussy cut this is that the dies that I have are sized slightly too big or slightly too small for this. This element here is smaller than this starburst one. I'm not sure why they're not the same size that they would work with other dies, because Stampin' Up! Does that quite a bit, where they'll coordinate a newer product with something that's already in the line, in the product line. But and maybe it's just their standard sizes for some things. I don't know. I never really thought about it, and I didn't ask. All right, so I think we could probably keep that piece. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, but I mean, this could be kind of just a fun layout, similar to our sketch challenge, just by accident. Because remember, our sketch challenge is kind of like this one. I think I may have already mailed out the ones that I did for the sketch challenge. So let's try this Night of Navy. 8, 5, that's not big enough. Let me get another piece. Almost lost that. 2 card bases. All right. We could do some of this. Well, you know what might be fun is make these slightly different sizes. That'd be like an eyeball coming in from the side. I don't like that, but what do you think about just doing something like this? Maybe put some mats or a mat behind the whole area. Or we could do maybe we need more pieces. This might be good. Any input on this? You know, we could probably put mats on these and layer them. I don't know if that's working for me. This might be a leftover for another day. Maybe I should have done that on a different piece. I don't know. I'm just looking through these. Well, maybe that would be better. Well, I kind of like that one. What do you think of that one? It's the shell for you. Oh, it looks like a shell. Yeah, it kind of does actually. This one. And maybe I shouldn't even make strips out of it. Maybe I should just make a layer. Just take an inch off of each side. Water. So if we put this kind of, we could actually put a sentiment so that it covers up this part, because I think this is kind of throwing me. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like it should be there. So do you think strips on this would be good? The other strips, so these strips here, let me get the other card base. We could lay them out side by side. And what might be throwing me too is this is Night of Navy, or this is Secret Sea, and this is Night of Navy, and they're different blues. Let me move these over a little bit. Where was that? Now I could put these on mats. So the other strips, but no shelving. So now, not this thing. So maybe I should do, I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's supposed to be a sunburst. I believe it's supposed to be a sunburst. That's why I was thinking with some of these clouds, it looked better in my head than it does here. And maybe if I do something else here. We could bury the sun in the water. I'm thinking maybe this just is not going to work for this. I might find something else to make a sunburst, but maybe it's just not working here. Because if we're all struggling with it, we're all struggling with it. But this, of course, now I need like Highland Heather or Gorgeous Grape or something, because this doesn't have any blues and I've got it on the Night of Navy. Looks Art Deco. Yeah, maybe it does, huh? But I'm going to do a few more shells. And then I think what I'm going to have to do, can you cut out the sailboat from the circle? Like, and put the sailboat on the bottom of the sunburst. Oh, probably. That might be good. Absolutely. Let's take a look. But here's a bunch of shells. There's a few shells. All right, so let's find the boat. And we'll do Night of Navy, because that's what this is. So here's our boat. We would almost have to, let me just, I'm going to cut this way. So if we did something like this, think the black lines on the sunburst are throwing there. Yeah, maybe if it was cut from a darker yellow or orange. And see, this was the paper that was in here. So that's the only reason why I did it out of that paper. Was because that was what was in the bundle. So let's just snip our little boat out of here. And if I did this, we could have water on the bottom of that burst. Our little boat floating in the water, sailing off into the sunset. And let's take a look at these papers again. That's kind of 70s-ish, huh? A little hippie-ish. So what's a great idea? Doing the ship on here, separated from here. I think that was a very good idea. And then, let's see, there's... Oh, that's not the right color. I want Secret Sea. So what if we did... Okay, did you see what I did there? So I cut out the lighthouse, right? With this die. And it leaves it attached here. And I wanted just the lighthouse and the rocks. So I took the sailboat and I tucked the sailboat part behind the lighthouse so that it wouldn't cut the lighthouse. And then I just used the circle around here. Okay, so that made it easier than trying to fussy cut a straight line or using dies that have stitches and things that I don't want. So let's take these little edges here off. And then here's another set of pieces from the inside, excuse me, that we can turn into more rocks by gluing them in different places too. And then I want to take some of that bright yellow paper and illuminate our lighthouse. Okay, I'm going to keep those. I'm going to get rid of all these. So let's find a little piece of this. And let's find our lighthouse. I'm going to go ahead and cut the lighthouse just from this little strip because I just want the yellow part. And that actually probably is not going to work because it's going to cut out all of my windows. So here, let's do some tear and tape on here and try to get all these little windows to stay in here. I don't want the windows to fall out. So we're going to tape them into place. I figured it might have been better than fussy cutting a piece, but maybe not. We'll see if this turns out. We'll see in just a second. All right, so there's all of those pieces. Now, what did I do with my lighthouse? Here we go. I'm going to snip this off. I'm going to snip that off. I'm going to snip the side of the lighthouse off. And then I can just glue that right in there. So because I put the tape on the back of all those little bits, all I have to do is put a bunch of glue on. We'll do it on the back of here. So that I don't get glue where it doesn't belong. All right, and then I'm just going to leave that tear and tape on there because I want those windows held in, right? All right, so if we are going to, let's see, I'm trying to think if I want to do, I'm just having some thoughts here. I'm having some thoughts. We could put these both on a card. I'm thinking. Which could be dangerous. I know everybody's wondering what in the world is going through her head. Sometimes I wonder that myself. What is going through her head? And if we're gonna go, I don't know if that'll matter much. We've got all these little pieces that could be used in a starburst pattern. We'll see. I should have put it on an adhesive sheet. But if we take these pieces out, and if we just use this piece, and then if we use let me just get a piece of cardstock here. I don't know if we're going to use those rocky pieces or not. We're going to do let's just put an adhesive sheet on here. That might be easiest. We're going to do double adhesive sheets, kind of. All right. So since I didn't put the adhesive sheet on the piece that I cut out, I'm going to put it on the paper where everything's going to go. Let's put this here. That'll be fine. And then all of these pieces are on adhesive sheets. And I'm just going to paper piece here for a minute or two. Let's see if this works. Because it's going to look like a midnight sky-ish if it works. We'll see. It might just be a lot of fuss about nothing. Now this one from last night, I did put adhesive sheet on the back of here. So that's why I said we're going to have double stick them. This might be kind of painful to watch, huh? I apologize. But if you saw the title when you came in, it said like leftovers. So these are all kinds of leftover pieces from recent projects. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's any use for them. So what I'm thinking is that sunburst now. Oh, thanks for popping in, Zip. I appreciate your suggestions. Glad you hung out with us for a while. So what I have in my head for this is that this can be the light from the lighthouse beacon. And we'll see how it goes. Now, the only thing that I realize is that these two small pieces, actually I have one of the small pieces. But the other small piece isn't on here, so I don't know if it fell out today or yesterday. But I don't really think it matters. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I could do a die, but I would still have to fussy cut it because the dies that I have are either a little too big or a little too small. So I'm just trying to get it under the edge here. But if I put it in a die, there's adhesive sheet on here, remember, so it would stick to my die. And once I get this extra sticky off of here, it should be easier to handle. This is going kind of long tonight. We're just on a roll, right? All right, so this, I'm going to use the Helloooo technique. I'm just going to roll that out there really good to make sure that adhesive sticks good. Now, let's put this back like this. With a little sailboat in like a rising sun, and then so that could be like the morning view, and this could be the nighttime view. I want that covered up somehow. There. I think what I'll do is I'll keep all of these pieces in here so that that doesn't show through. I was going to place those kind of like we did the other waves, but I think I want these in here to camouflage. That. And I think what I'll do, since I don't have the inset piece for this one, is I'll just snip it off. And maybe I can just, no, I can't cut that flat. We're just going to go like this. So we could have morning and night. That looks kind of good that way, but I don't, we have to cover up. You know, I could have it at the edge of the card. We'll cut that off. What do you think of that? We could do a card that's got morning and night. We'll cut this edge off, So let's cut this down and just see what it looks like. And I need another card base. Okay. So if we put this on here, maybe we want to use this side though. Now this might work better. We could have this one coming off of this side and cut it. And then this one coming off of this side and cut the edge. I like the lighthouse with the rays coming out of the beacon. I know what you mean. So I would just have that cut off the edge of the page a little bit so we can get rid of that where it looks like sun sitting in there. Morning and night, what do you think? I don't know if we need seashells on here. I'm thinking I don't like the seashells. I think they cheapen it somehow. So I'm gonna glue this around here. We're just gonna kind of see. Well, somebody liked it. I saw a heart popping up there. That's a good thing. So let's put this on here. And I didn't put glue all the way to the edge because I want to be able to tuck this little boat in there. And maybe I'll put some dimensionals behind the sail of the boat. Because that'll give it a look like it's catching the wind. And then we'll put a little bit of glue on the bottom. I have a dimensional backing that doesn't want to let go. A little bit of glue there. Come on. Tuck that in the wave. Probably need a little seagull action on there. So that can go here. In fact, I think I want to make this a little bit smaller. We'll actually do 4 by 5 1/4. This can go here. I'll trim it. This can go here. That's going to go in there, back in there. And then I think these couple of parts where I don't have the innards, I'm going to go ahead and trim those off so that they don't look like they don't belong. Okay. So this will kind of go to the edge of here. Let's go ahead and glue this down. I just put my fingers in the glue. Oh, that was lucky. And I think I want to add a dimensional up here. I think that'll work. So if I had a card that, like a slim line. Oh yeah, that would be cool, huh? That could be cool. A slim line, like landscaped, right? I'm still gonna have to trim this though, because I don't like, that bright yellow there. So I'm still gonna have to snip this. And I think I'm going to have to use my long scissors. It doesn't want to work. The problem that I will have if I color the yellow, the dark, it's actually the Secret Sea, is that it will look fake to me. It will look like it's been colored. What I can do is edge this so that that edge doesn't look white. And I think we'll do that right now. So that that doesn't stand out like a sore thumb, right? Because that'll be like here. And this can be here. I might still decide to use a different thing, or I might need to just layer this more. Like cut this just a little smaller so I've got more of a layer. So let me just cut a little bit off of this side. Let's just... That could kind of work, huh? And I intentionally had the rays going in different directions. So let me just edge this one too, just so it's uniform. And then I think what I want to do is run this through the embossing folder. Let's see how that looks. This So Swirly that's on the last chance list now for $5.50 or $5.25. I don't remember. It's inexpensive. So now we have some texture on that. And it's a shame to cover up the shimmer paper, but I really liked the yellow in the sky there. And then here with the dark. Now, this will require some Wink of Stella. On these. And I think that's going to add a nice little highlight there. And I'm just putting it on the Secret C sections. So I guess I get really quiet when I color with Wink of Stella too, hey? I suppose it wouldn't really matter if I got it on the yellow sections. I just am being a putsy crafter, I guess. I just want it to look intentional. And then here, this is the last one behind the rocks. We have a beautiful lighthouse in our county. I used to be able to, I mean, I could go to the lighthouse every day if I had the time. And the grounds, the park that it's now become is really awesome. Because we are on Lake Michigan. Our county is on Lake Michigan, but I'm about 40 minutes away. 40 to 45 minutes away from the lake now, depending on traffic. Okay. Now I do see a little yellow in here that shouldn't be there. So I'm just going to try to use my journaling pen and deepen that whole area so it looks the same. All right. I think for now I'm going to leave this like this. I'm going to sleep on it. We're going to figure out sentiment. And if I need some kind of ribbon or something, and I will finish it up next time. Because it's almost 3 a.m. here. And I should probably get some sleep. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a night. Let's get some of this debris out of the way. We get these other cards out here. These shells we'll hang on to because we might use those tomorrow. We'll keep these strips. We might use those again. We could maybe use those and turn them into a different kind of sunburst. We'll see. All right, let me put some of my mess away here so that I can actually see what we got left behind. Okay, almost there. Okay, we'll get rid of our little symbol that we didn't figure out. All right, here's the unfinished. Give it some thought. Pop back tomorrow, see if you have any suggestions. This was our first card tonight, and here's our second card. These dies, I distressed the net. So if you weren't here before, I had spritzed the paper. I used basic beige. I spritzed it after it was die cut, and then I just crumpled it and softened it so it's pretty flexible, not like hard paper. So it's actually really like netting. So I will get these posted to my Facebook page someday, hopefully soon. And then, you know, if you do something like this, go ahead and post it. But don't forget about our sketch challenge Sundays. So every Sunday since the first Sunday in May, I've been posting a sketch, have been creating an interpretation of that sketch, posting it onto my Facebook page, and then encouraging all of you to get inspiration from that sketch. These are all Stampin' Up! Sketches. And then the week after the last Sunday of each month, I will put all the participants' names on my wheel of names, and I will send happy mail to whoever comes up on that wheel of names. So we got a lot of things going on. Come back again sometime. If you haven't subscribed, if you're in the balcony, haven't been chit-chatting, feel free to chit-chat. Throw out suggestions there. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give me a like on your way out the door if you wouldn't mind. I'd love if you would share my videos. The more the merrier. And that helps me out and it doesn't cost you anything. So, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I appreciate the company. And until next time, happy crafting. Good night, Lori. Thank you, Juju. Suzanne, if you're still here, thanks for hanging out with me. I know Zip went to bed. Not sure how else we've had, but thank you, everybody. Juju, get your cleaning done and go to bed.